Joe Biden has signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law. Of course, that protects marriages of all different sorts. But the aspect of this that, of course, is the most likely to be targeted is same-sex marriage, interracial marriage. We understand even the most conservative states won't go after that if the Supreme Court were to overturn that decision. But with Obergefell, one of the decisions that Clarence Thomas said we should take a look at, and very well could be targeted if states could make it illegal, if that decision was overturned. And so that's kind of at the center of this conversation, I think, quite often. And I must clarify, and then we'll dive into some moments from Biden's speech celebrating this signing of the bill into law and all of this, that while it's a good piece of legislation, I'm glad that it happened. It's obviously not enough. We've discussed how this doesn't make every state mandated to have same-sex marriage or interracial marriage legal and give marriage licenses out. Instead, it's saying if you get a marriage, if you get married in a legal way, whether it's a different state or you got it done in the state you're in before it was made illegal, then the state has to recognize that as a valid marriage, and the federal government is recognizing and protecting that. So hopefully that makes sense. Still really good, but not everything it could have been. With that being said, here's the first moment I want to show you from this event at the White House.
Today's a good day. A day America takes a vital step toward equality, toward liberty and justice, not just for some, but for everyone. Everyone. Toward creating a nation where decency, dignity, and love are recognized, honored, and protected. Today, I sign the Respect for Marriage Act into law.
I'll stop that one there. Much more energetic Biden there than we normally see. Good stuff. Here's his closing.
Let me close with something else that happened on the same day that Congress sent me this bill. Brittany Griner was finally on her way home. I got to know her incredible wife as we worked to bring Brittany home from her unjust imprisonment in Russia. We were together in the Oval Office, her wife and I. We heard Brittany's voice on the phone when she was freed. And we addressed the nation together. When we did that, Brittany's wife said, quote, "Today, my family is whole. My fellow Americans, that all-consuming, life-altering, love and commitment, that's marriage."
Absolutely. And then the final moment I'll show you from his speech is him addressing the Clarence Thomas angle of this, the reason why it's necessary to be protecting these rights, as you'll see here.
We must also acknowledge another reason we're here. Congress is acting because an extreme Supreme Court has stripped away the right important to millions of Americans that existed for half a century. The Dobbs decision, the court's extreme conservative majority overturned Roe v. Wade and the right to choose. In his concurring opinion, Justice Thomas went even further, and he wrote the following, quote, "We should reconsider all the court's substantive due process precedents, including Griswold, Lawrence, Obergefell. That means he thinks we should reconsider whether you've got the right to access to contraception. And yes, we should reconsider whether you have the right to marry who you love. And that's not only the challenge ahead. When a person can be married in the morning and thrown out of a restaurant for being gay in the afternoon, this is still wrong. Wrong. And that's why the people you heard speak today continue to fight to pass the Equality Act.
Absolutely. And then the final thing I'll show you from the event as a whole is just one of the performers that performed was Sam Smith. They kind of had different individuals get up and sing and play music. Really nice. And this Stay With Me song is one of my favorites.
No, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. This is love, it's clear to see. But darling, stay with me.
Beautiful. So I just want to say there's always more to be done. There's always flaws, and those can be discussed as we have done in the past, even just with this bill specifically, as we've done. I also think just for our own sanity, it's important to celebrate wins when we get them. Otherwise, life can feel a little hopeless, and this is a win. And so I do think we should feel some sense of positivity today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get a full extra show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/LukeBeasley. That's patreon.com/LukeBeasley, and there's a link in the description.